The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or UDHR, was adopted in the aftermath of World War II as the world grappled with the horrors of the Holocaust and other atrocities. It was drafted by representatives from various legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world. Eleanor Roosevelt, widow of US President Franklin D. Roosevelt, chaired the UN Commission on Human Rights that drafted the declaration. The final document was adopted by the UN General Assembly on December 10, 1948 in Paris. Of the 58 member states of the UN at the time, 48 voted in favor, none against, 8 abstained, and 2 did not vote. The preamble sets out the historical and social causes that led to the necessity of drafting the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The 30 articles can be broadly categorized into 2 groups. Articles 1 through 21 cover civil and political rights, while Articles 22 through 30 address economic, social, and cultural rights. The articles are intentionally broad to allow for various interpretations and applications across different cultures and legal systems. The key principles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights include universality, which means the rights apply to all people regardless of their race, gender, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. Inalienability signifies that human rights are inherent to all human beings and cannot be taken away, except in specific situations and according to due process. Indivisibility means that human rights are indivisible and interdependent, meaning the deprivation of one right adversely affects others. Equality and non-discrimination ensure that every individual is equal before the law and entitled to equal protection of the law without any discrimination. Lastly, participation and inclusion emphasize that all people have the right to participate in and access information relating to the decision-making processes that affect their lives. So let's talk about some of the important rights included in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. First, we have the right to life, liberty, and security of person, which is covered in Article 3. Then there's the prohibition of slavery and torture, detailed in Articles 4 and 5. Next, we have the right to recognition as a person before the law and equality before the law, which are outlined in Articles 6 and 7. Freedom from arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile is specified in Article 9, and the right to a fair trial is in Article 10. Article 13 guarantees freedom of movement and residence, while Article 14 grants the right to seek asylum from persecution. The right to a nationality is covered in Article 15, and the right to marry and found a family is in Article 16. Freedom of thought, conscience, and religion is protected under Article 18, and freedom of opinion and expression is in Article 19. Article 20 covers the freedom of peaceful assembly and association. The right to participate in government is detailed in Article 21, and the right to social security is in Article 22. Articles 23 and 24 cover the right to work and to join trade unions. The right to an adequate standard of living is in Article 25, and the right to education is in Article 26. Finally, the right to participate in the cultural life of the community is covered in Article 27. Moving on to the impact of the UDHR, it's quite significant. The Declaration has inspired more than 80 international human rights treaties and declarations. It has been incorporated into many national constitutions and legal frameworks. The UDHR also serves as a foundation for organizations like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch. It has been cited by governments, academics, advocates, and constitutional courts in their struggle for human rights. Furthermore, the Declaration has led to the creation of human rights positions within governments and international bodies. Now, let's discuss the limitations of the UDHR. As a declaration, it is not legally binding, though it carries strong moral weight. Implementation and enforcement vary widely among nations. Some countries argue that it reflects Western values and doesn't adequately represent other cultural perspectives. There are ongoing debates about the balance between universal human rights and cultural relativism. Additionally, economic, social, and cultural rights are often seen as aspirational rather than immediately achievable, especially in developing countries. Finally, let's talk about the observance of the UDHR. Human Rights Day on December 10th commemorates the adoption of the Declaration. The day is marked by high-level political conferences, meetings, cultural events, and exhibitions dealing with human rights issues. Many organizations use this day to highlight specific human rights concerns. The UN occasionally chooses specific human rights themes for particular years to focus global attention.